Oh boy, I can't wait to play Super Mario Sunshine again. Hello everybody, I'm Random Bystander here, and I love Mario Sunshine, but I also hate it. I love it because it's one of the first Mario games I've ever played, and I have so many fond memories with it as a child, and even now playing it today. I hate it because it's one of the hardest games I've ever played, and possibly one of the harder Mario games that exists out there. With Mario 3D All-Stars coming out and re-releasing Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, and of course, Mario Sunshine, I thought it would be a good time to reflect on some of the levels in Mario Sunshine. But not just any levels. We're going to talk about some of the hardest levels in Super Mario Sunshine. My thoughts on them, and maybe even some tips on them if I have any. So watch away as you'll have flashbacks to some of the hardest levels in the game. And by the way, if you played Mario Sunshine and there's some levels that are very difficult that I haven't talked about, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think are some of the hardest levels in Mario Sunshine. By the way, these levels are in no particular order. We're just gonna reminisce them and basically talk about how hard they are. One of the first levels that a lot of people think is really hard is the sandbird level, which, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's that bad. Granted, it definitely gave me a lot of trouble as a kid, but honestly, once you get past the bird turning its neck and you're able to get past that and able to balance it fine, the sandbird's not that hard. The main thing you want to do is grab all the coins you can as fast as you can, and then go to the bird's neck or tail and just make sure you don't fall. Sure, Mario Sunshine physics can get a bit weird, and no matter how much you do try to stay on, the physics can get to you, and that can be very annoying. But honestly, going back to it, I never saw that much trouble with this level. It was definitely harder when I was a kid, but not as hard as people are making it out to be now. I don't think Sandbird is that hard of a level. The types of levels people found difficult in Mario Sunshine were also the secret levels. There were a lot of secret levels that were very difficult, not only because you had to deal with them once without FLUDD, but also in order to beat the game 100%, you had to do the secret levels twice, and the second time getting red coins every time. And the first one we're going to talk about is Secret of Noki Bay. That, in my opinion, is honestly one of the most difficult of the secret levels. First things first, you gotta go up as high as you can to the highest parts of Noki Bay, climb some tight ropes and try to avoid some electrical thingies, and then just make your way to the secret shell. Once you get that, you have to do a bunch of jumping and acrobating and a whole bunch of wall jumps and such just to get to and from the level. And some of these jumps can be really, really difficult. Like, I remember struggling so much as a kid. Granted, I didn't know how to wall jump or anything like that. I had some real difficulty, and this was my first Mario game, so there are a lot of tricks I didn't know that a lot of people did, but I remember struggling just to get from one platform to the other. But again, once you just make it past the wall jumps, it's not that bad. You just gotta be very careful and very, careful. Sirena Beach. I'm gonna talk about this level a lot. There are so many difficult levels in this one, but the one that we'll start with first is the one that everyone starts with first, and that's the Manta Storm. Oh my god, I could not beat this area for the longest time because of this first mission. It starts out simple enough. You see a bunch of goop everywhere, and your first instinct is to clean everything. And honestly, you probably should clean as much as you can. Don't clean everything though. You'll see why in a bit. The mission itself doesn't start until you talk to the hotel manager. He rambles on about this huge paper-thin manta ray that has taken over the hotel and managed to have it sink to the bottom of the goo. And then what do you know? The manta ray comes back just in time for you to fight him. And he's, as described, a paper-thin monster that's just huge. How do you defeat this paper-thin manta ray? Well, you simply spray it with water until it breaks off into two, and the two pieces break off to 4, and they break off to like 8, and so on and so on until there's a bunch of little manta rays all around the area. Granted, when you get touched by any of these manta rays, they bounce all over and you turn into Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. There were points where I got caught in a bounce chain that wound up to my death in these levels. It was annoying. You do have some coins you could always heal to under some podiums where the manta rays can't get you. And if you don't get rid of all the goop, if you spray some, you can find some coins as well to heal you. But it still can be very difficult. What makes it even harder is that when you get all the manta rays down to little tiny manta rays, they suddenly turn red and they all go after you. So you basically got to destroy all the manta rays. And once you do, the hotel comes back up and then bam, the shine sprite is yours. I don't like this level. I like the concept a lot. It's a very cool boss fight, but it's definitely one of the hardest boss fights in the game. Speaking of boss fights, if you like that segue, the final mountain in the game, which is very, very badly named now. But Pandemic Mountain is one of the final areas of the game, and as so can be very difficult. First, you jump on these platforms that are either filled with spikes that can one-hit kill you instantly, or flames that can one-hit kill you instantly. You have to make your way around, make sure you have enough water to put out the flames, or survive enough through the spikes, and then you get to the rowboat. This rowboat is the reason why this level is on my list. Why? Why does this rowboat control like this? I don't like it. I don't understand it. It's so awkward. You have to control it by spraying flood a specific way in order to push the rowboat to get to where you want to go. It's so sensitive and so easy to drift off course. And if your boat touches anything, I mean anything, a piece of rock, the wall, the water fountain, boom, death, and you're about to die. There's nothing you can do. That rowboat always gave me so much trouble with doing the final area. Like, seriously, I had so much trouble because of the rowboat controls. But after that, it's not too bad, as you basically use a rocket nozzle to climb up the clouds, and then you use the rocket nozzle to defeat Bowser. Then shine sprite and you win the game. Nothing too bad. The main problem is that rowboat and the physics that are associated with it. But my god, that is not the worst time those types of physics are used in this game. We'll get to that when we get to that. The 8th shine sprite in Worlds in Mario Sunshine are often considered the hardest. The first one we're going to talk about is the 8th shine in Pinna Park. You remember that roller coaster where you had to shoot missiles at Mecha Bowser? You thought that was hard? Honestly, that's nothing. This one where you have to destroy balloons in the shape of Bowser Jr.'s head? That's annoying. I always have trouble with this. There's no modern lock-on system. There's no way you can guarantee a hit. And with the camera, it's hard to control as well. All you can do is shoot a missile and pray to God it hits your targets. You only have 3 laps to try and hit all these balloons in time. And it wouldn't be so bad if when you didn't hit the balloons, you just had to start all over again. But the big issue is that every time you fail, you die. Literally, Mario dies of embarrassment. You lose a life and you have to start the whole level all over again. That means Mario goes into the cannon, you get shot out of the cannon, you go through trying to pick the level, and then you get back to Pinna Park and have to do it all over again. Again, very tedious. I don't know why you have to lose a life for just losing this minigame. This would have been so much more tolerable if you were able to, you know, not die in the minigame. I know I'm jumping all over the place with these levels, but honestly, we're going to Sirena Beach again for 2 more of these levels. The first one is another secret level, Secret of the Hotel Casino. This one also adds on to the tedious factor. First off, you go into the casino and then you see some slots. Your goal is to shoot the slots with water and then have it match to all 7, which is fine. You're able to do that on the left side and the right side, no problem. And then after that is where it gets difficult. A board shows up where there's a bunch of question marks. And on that board of question mark, you have to spray each individual tile so it shows a shine sprite. And oh my god, do I hate the physics. The physics with this are so tedious. You have no idea how many times I've sprayed a tile only to go to a tile next to it and spray the tile I didn't want to spray and wound up having to start all over again. It is such a pain. It takes forever. It really takes forever. Thankfully, I've gotten to the point where I've just mastered the physics. Then I was able to just make the shine sprite appear. But then it's still not over. You know why? Because you gotta go through a secret level. Go down the pipe and go through a huge secret level without flood. And then you get your shine sprite. You see how tedious this is, right? And again, if you die and get a game over, you're gonna have to do the tiles all over again. Sirena Beach cleaning, the last annoyance of Sirena Beach. This one is often overlooked, especially because it's not as hard as it is in the Japanese version. I'll get to that. But basically the goal is you have to clean up as much as Sirena Beach before the time limit ends. And you have to clean up a certain amount in order to get the shine sprite. It can be very tedious. It can be very difficult. And if you don't clear it in time, you die. Again, Mario just dies of shame, I guess. You can lose a lot of lives if you're not quick enough. You can use the barrels to help speed up the process. But again, if you're not good at aiming them like I am, there may just be a waste of time. But if you do master the barrels and you are able to do it quickly enough, you get the shine. Again, this is hard, but not as hard as the Japanese version. Yeah, in the US version, you had to clean up 95% of the goop. In the Japanese version, you had to clean up 99% of the goop. That meant if there was a single speck in the Japanese version that you could barely see, and the game detected it, you weren't gonna win. You were gonna run out of time and have to start all over again. All right, now we're getting to the really hard ones. The really, really hard levels in Super Mario Sunshine. First one that you'll probably all know about is Juxter. I'm a chuckster. God, this level is pure luck. For those of you who don't know, this is a secret level where you have to talk to the piñatas. And when you talk to them, they throw you from platform to platform. This could either lead you to the next platform, or it could lead you to your death. The way you move Mario around the piñata determines where he will go flying, and that's where a lot of the frustration goes. There are points where if you're angled slightly off, good old Chuckster here will chuck you across the whole opposite way, where you fall to your death. Rinse and repeat until you get the angle right. I always struggle with this level whenever I play Mario Sunshine because it's still required to beat the game, even to get to the final Pandemic Mountain. But I still don't think it's as hard as the next three. Speaking of, we're finally getting to that other 8th mission that I think is really hard. Anyone in the mood for watermelons? Ah, yes, the watermelon level, where you have to bring the biggest watermelon to the judges in order to get a shine sprite. I thought these things were sacred and you're holding them off as a cash prize? It doesn't matter. You get to the biggest, brightest watermelon on the top of the mountain, and then you have to get it down. Honestly, getting it down is a crapshoot, because sometimes it'll land by a duck, where the duck will launch it in the air and it will be destroyed instantly, or if you're lucky, it'll land a bit further down where there are no ducks and you'll be able to move on. Thankfully, I was able to do that. Once you get that, you have to spray ducks in order to make sure they don't destroy the watermelon and get it across the beach. And once you do that, you have to get it across a very small pathway and make sure that it doesn't fall off into the ocean. Because if it touches water, it breaks, and you gotta start all over again. But hey, at least you aren't dead when it breaks. That's the bright side, right? Once you get it across, the judges love it. The watermelon gets shredded by the blades, and Mario holds a shine sprite over fast-moving fans. Now, these two are unanimously known as some of the harder levels. It just depends which one you think is harder. And I understand if you think one is harder than the other. We're going to talk about Pachinko now. The infamous Pachinko level. You get to this level by jumping on a boat and then using your hover nozzle when you go under a bridge. And once you do that, it takes you to this Pachinko machine. Here in this Pachinko machine, you have to jump and then have Mario land in the holes in this Pachinko machine where you get red coins. Once you get all 8 red coins, you have to land Mario in the spot where there is a shine sprite. And once you get that shine sprite, you're done with Pachinkos forever. But that makes it very difficult because the physics in this are god-awful. They are awful. I don't know if this level was rushed or if they were purposely trying to make it difficult, but the points where I use the hover nozzle to try my best so I can move from one to the other, it's just impossible. And don't even think about using your rocket nozzle. It will not work. This is one of the most infamous levels in all of Mario Sunshine. But in my opinion, I hate the lily pad level a lot more. First off, it takes forever to get to the lily pad. You have to find the Yoshi, find the fruit for the Yoshi, then get the Yoshi on the boats. That Yoshi gets on the boat. And then that Yoshi goes from a boat to an island. Then that Yoshi goes from an island to a boat. And you go that boat to a platform where you have to get a fruit. By the way, if you don't do it fast enough, your Yoshi will run out of fruit and then you'll start over. Anyway, once you get to the platform, there's a piece of fruit in there which you can eat, which will replenish your health. Then you have to wait for another boat. Then you jump on the boat, jump onto an island, and then you see a pipe that's covered in this like weird foamy goop that only Yoshis can destroy. Once you do that, you get to the lily pad level. Remember those boat controls from Pandemic Mountain? Well, that's what the lily pad is. You basically have to use FLUDD to get the red coins. And you only got one shot with this because most likely your lily pad will either sink or you'll miss the red coins. And you want to get these red coins the first time, because if you don't, you're gonna basically have to start over all over again. But wait, you ask, there's a pipe at the end of the level. Surely that will take you back to the beginning. No! You go down the pipe and it takes you back to Delfino Plaza. You know what that means? Get the fruit for the Yoshi, hop from boat to island, use Yoshi to get rid of the goop. Yes, the goop regenerates every time you leave or die. And then try all over again. I hate this level! As you can see, these levels can fill me with rage. I still have a soft spot for Mario Sunshine. I do. I still love it to death. But it's one of the hardest Mario games I have ever played. And it still will be hard to this day. But if you guys want to see me suffer through Mario Sunshine and play other Mario games, follow me on my Twitch channel. I play a lot of Nintendo games, and I play a lot of other games like Among Us, Fall Guys, Dead by Daylight, and I will be playing the Mario collection as much as I can on stream. And I will be 100%ing Mario Sunshine. Or at least trying to. If you also want to check out other videos, including videos I made about Fall Guys or other Nintendo topics, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you like, comment, and subscribe, it really does help out the channel and really mean a lot to me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good night.